Hey everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Dell Ultra HD P2715Q. This is a 27-inch IPS panel with UHD resolution that's 3840 by 2160, so a little bit under 4K, but what makes this panel unique is its price point and overall performance. $600 to $700 US gets you, again, a UHD IPS panel with decent response times. That's 8 milliseconds and 6 in the fast mode. And of course, Dell has not cut corners when it comes to inputs. I'll get to that when we get this thing out of the box. So the key here really boils down to, do you need a solid 4K UHD monitor at a price that isn't astronomical? So with that said, let me go ahead and start to open this up. If you've been wondering why the box seems to be upside down, that's because it actually opens out. So I'm going to go ahead and break the seal now, which is right here. And $600 or $700 may sound like a lot, but I can assure you when it comes to monitors in this class, it is not. In fact, it's surprising that Dell dubs this an Ultra HD monitor rather than just an Ultra Sharp. I think that's, well, I believe it's obvious why. It's because they are planning to refresh their Ultra Sharp 4K lineup, which has been on the market now for over a year, well over a year at that. Let me go ahead and just pan this up. See if it opens. And there we have it. So, as I was saying, the response time that you'll see with the actual Ultra Sharp lineup right now is pretty poor. In fact, you're talking about somewhere around 9 milliseconds. Forget the 8 that this monitor has to offer. And then on top of that, the pricing is still out of this world. So you can see we're confronted with quite a few cables. I'll get that out of the way right at the start. We have a mini DisplayPort to full, and this does not have HDMI 2.0, but it does have DisplayPort. So even though you will not be able to get 4K or UHD at 60 Hertz through HDMI, you will be able to do so with DisplayPort. You can see here we have a USB host cable, and that's because there is a hub on board. Again, this all sounds like an Ultra Sharp product, but because it only covers 99% of the Adobe RGB spectrum, there's our power cable, it hasn't been classified as one, which is amazing, but true. You can see I've got the, excuse the interference here with the tripod as I try to take this part out. It's the back cover for concealing all of the cable management, or the attempt at doing so. Another thing that, you know, it's nice that Dell includes. You can see the stand there. And then I believe we have the actual factory calibration report right here, which we do, which I'm going to share with all of you. And this is part of, again, what makes it seem like that this is an Ultra Sharp monitor. This is traditionally something you'd only see with an Ultra Sharp. And remember, the Ultra Sharps cover 99.5% of the spectrum. This is stopping at 99. So if the only attempt here is to differentiate with the Ultra Sharp that way, as well as response time, then I'm not really sure what Dell is doing on the approach here. This seems like then it's probably one of the best values easily on the market. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. There were instructions on how to do this, by the way. Of course, I am not going to follow them because, well, it wouldn't be as entertaining if I did, would it? Whoop. And as I say that, we almost have that interesting moment that so many of you are waiting for. We've also got software here, unsurprisingly. What would this product be without some useless software? Let me go ahead and try to unlatch this. I should have looked at those instructions after all, because this is some knock-up job of basically creating a catacomb for this panel. And I'm sure had I looked at the directions, this would be very, very simple, but of course you all know I did not. So going to get this out of here one way or another, I can assure you of that. And I see the panel is there underneath. I'm wondering if this is pre-mounted. It looks like it actually is. So let's go ahead, pull this off. This is pre-mounted. How do you like that? Something that you rarely see. Boy, I'm never getting that back in the box. No way. This is like a puzzle. It is not going to happen. And it's not pre-mounted. I take that back. It just looks like it because of the way they put the arm. Go ahead and remove that. Definitely is a puzzle, though. It's living up to that. There was an attachment. That attachment has been broken. So let's take a look at the stand. Of course, it's going to be taped up just how I like it. As you all know, make my life a little more interesting with some more tape. And I won't be using the stand, by the way, but Dell has always been pretty good about, I would say, most of their stands in general. Quality, versatility, and this looks like it's no exception. Metallic build combined with polycarbonates, if I ever get this off, and there you have it. As I bang the tripod and the monitor simultaneously. Magic, folks. And it does have the ability to go up and down, as well as, does it tilt? No, but it does pan. So, or rather the reverse. So pretty much like the LG that I just recently unboxed. And let's finally get to the monitor itself, which I can now, hopefully safely, pull out of this, again, maze-like box. By the way, to remind those of you that might be curious at this juncture, this monitor is made in China. Not that it's relevant, because it isn't. And will it come out? This is kind of like will it blend, but the Ed version. Come on. I don't want to break anything. It is putting up a fight. There we go. And I have won. All right, now let's get rid of the box, and I will show you the monitor. Time to get rid of this thing. I do not think there's anything else in there. I almost ate part of it. That would have been delicious. Time to go. I have other expressions for that, but I'm not using them right now. Not at this point. Get this thing out of here. It's one thing I will not compliment Dell on is their packaging. Anyone who watched the LG unboxing already knows. I mean, that was a very big monitor, but it was not as grotesque as this when it came to packaging, even though it was a bigger monitor at that. Keep that in mind. Bigger monitor, less of a hassle to unbox. So here we go. Look at the software being cute, waiting for the full appearance that is on its back. I hope it is. Another choking hazard, and here is the 27-inch UHD panel you've all been waiting for. Hopefully, it's the one I've been waiting for too, because while the LG that I unboxed the other day is beautiful, the price is absurd. And granted, the LG is a 4K, wow, I just got electrocuted, great, is a true 4K panel, whereas this is a UHD panel. Still, you know, expectations are high. No built-in speakers here, pretty much standard ultra-sharp look. Buttons are real buttons instead of touch sensitive, like all of the other ultra sharps that I presently have. Power button right there down in the lower right corner. The build quality seems good. It's not glass edge to edge like the other monitor that I was mentioning, the LG. I'm going to go ahead and flip this thing over without breaking it and show you the ports. Again, trying to be as gentle with this as I can. And right there you can see, on the far right, I'm looking at the same time, or far left, let's start with, we've got the power. Then next to that, HDMI port. Again, remember, that's not a 2.0 port, so no 4K, 60 hertz. You'll have to go to the display ports. Now, there you see 3 display ports there, and that's because, yes, there's one mini, that's an output, or rather an input. But then one of those additional display ports is for daisy chaining, something that I love that Dell incorporates so that you don't have to rely on, you know, connecting more cables from your card to extra monitors. You can actually just loop them. And then you've got basically an audio out for speakers, the optional speaker bar they make for the Ultra Sharp lineup, even though, again, this is not a member of that family. And then the USB host, as well as the additional ports. And that's it, 3 USB ports. No card reader on this. but still a nice monitor, nice construction. You have a VESA mount on the back. So there's a lot to like here. In fact, the matte finish is also refreshing, not a lot of glare. I have pretty powerful lights here hitting this, and you can see that. So I'm pleased that Dell has, at least out of the box, gotten something right here. Things look the way they should. Anyone who's an ultra-sharp fan knows that over the years, the matte displays and how they played with anti-glare made some very happy and some very unhappy. So refreshing to see that this looks like a good job. Now it's going to be all about performance. So excited to use this, see if it can game. I already know what it's going to be able to do with the Adobe RGB Spectrum, pretty much ultra-sharp performance, but at a price you would never see an ultra-sharp monitor. So I don't think this is a new order of things with Dell. I think it's more a matter of them prepping to refresh their entire ultra-sharp lineup. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.